This is Frank Leone with Get5Bass.com, and I have a pleasure to interview Terrance Narveson, also co-owner of Get5Bass.com. He placed fifth today at the FLW BFL here in Lake Ouachita. You had, what was your weight today, Terrance?
18 pounds, 5 ounces.
18 pounds, 5 ounces. Tell us about your day out there on Lake Ouachita.
Well, I got the chance to pre-fish last weekend and ran up into Cedar Foosh area and just found a few banks that had some grass, just off the bank, 4 to 5 foot off the bank. But it was the real good green grass, and it wasn't just balled up, it wasn't matted up, but it just seemed to be holding all the fish. And I started out throwing the Jackal Muscle 10 plus, and it's just been a strong bait for me. I was fishing a little bit deeper banks, and I started with the 7 plus and just couldn't get down deep enough into the grass right. And I was sitting in probably about 15 to 18 foot of water, casting just straight up to the bank, bringing it right into the grass. When it would get loaded up in the grass, I'd kind of pop it, shake it loose, and that's when the fish would just come right up and eat it. And obviously this has got a few teeth marks. It's been eaten a few times, but I caught a limit, or caught four of my keepers this morning on this crankbait, which ended up, I think I got 2 of those I got to weigh in. One was about 3.5, another one about 4. When I wasn't doing that, I was picking up, throwing on the new Dobbin 765 CB glass and my new Lew's Tournament Pro reel here, 6.4 to 1 speed, and I was throwing the Jackal Doozer. It's a 1 ounce rattle trap, and I'd kind of line up the same way, but I would make sure that I'd let the bait kind of fall into the grass a little bit deeper rather than with the crankbait.
Were you fishing that a little shallower too?
I was fishing this shallow. It's gotten banged up a little bit, but I wouldn't get it as shallow as the crankbait. I'd probably take it out about 5 foot deeper off the bank than I would the crankbait, and I'd let it kind of fall at first to get kind of in the grass, and then I'd start just burning it back as fast as I could. Long casts were key. This rod handled the 1 ounce trap just perfectly. You didn't notice that it was even a 1 ounce trap. It's very light. I was able to fish it all day long and with no fatigue. I was very impressed with it. After I left the Cedar Foosh area, I found a little place over by Crystal, and I had 2 points that had just the real nice green grass, and it was perfect. But this rain we had the other day muddied the water up a lot, and I was real concerned that the fish weren't going to hold on there anymore. I found out probably 3 casts later they were there. I ended up catching 5 more keepers, all on this rattle trap on the Doozer, and it was in an hour. It was incredible. I ended up getting 3 more really nice keepers. Had one about 4.5, another solid 4, and another one pushing 3.5 to 4 pounds. Just completely annihilated it. Matter of fact, they've knocked my eyes out of it now, and it's this bait really comes across the water really well. It's a smooth running rattle trap. It came through the grass really nice. The leaves were a little bit of a nuisance that kind of blew in from the storm, but once you work through the kind of some of the junk, it really came through great, and it's a go-to rattle trap for me for sure now, and that's one I'm always going to be throwing in the grass no matter where I run into any lake. It handled extremely well, and it's exactly what I wanted to do. So
it's bad to the bone, huh?
Oh, it's extremely bad to the bone. I mean, it's incredible. When you're catching 4 and 5 pound fish, and they've got the bait completely stuffed down their throat, they're on it. I mean, you just know that you're dialed into what the fish are doing and where they're at. And then, the place up in Crystal, the fish were actually really shallow. I was catching them all in 8 foot or less of water, and really most of my bites probably came in about 4 foot of water. And that was kind of a little bit different from what I was doing in the morning. So it was kind of funny. I had 2 different patterns. The only thing identical was the grass was the key, the real key feature. But it had to be the right kind of grass. It had to be the nice bushy green stuff. If you got into the brown stuff, the fish just weren't there. And if you got in around in that green slime, the fish just weren't there. So, definitely practice paid off a lot. Identifying a couple really good key areas that were holding some fish. Jackal with their awesome products. The crankbait runs awesome, true right out of the box. It's a very lightly fatigued. You don't feel it. It's doing all its stuff and it's doing it right, but it's not jarring against you. You're not having to work against the crankbait while you're bringing it in. You're able to fish it, feel everything that you run into. The rattle trap it runs true and smooth, and when the fish that come close to it, man, they're hooked. These hooks are awesome. They stick them and stick them good.
Well, congratulations, Terrance.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate it.